Campaigning to end today for the second phase of assembly elections of Bihar. Prime Minister Narendra Modi holds rallies in Chhapra, Samastipur, Motihari and Bagha. Says today Bihar has double engine ki sarkar. NDA government is committed to welfare of destitute and poor. Chief Minister Nitish Kumar, BJP leader Sushil Kumar Modi, Anurag Thakur also on campaign trail. RJD leader Tejaswi Yadav holds 15 rallies across 5 districts. Campaigning to also end for state assembly by-polls for 28 seats in Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan holds roadshow in Dewas. BJP and Congress have put their full strength in the last phase of campaigning. Big win for security forces in Jammu and Kashmir. Chief Hizbul Commander killed in an encounter in Srinagar. Over 1 lakh crore GST revenue collected in October 2020. The revenues for the month are 10% higher than the GST revenues in the same month last year. And India continues to achieve significant success in its fight against COVID-19, with case fatality rate falling below 1.5%. Number of infected persons from COVID-19 crossed 4 crore 63 lakh worldwide. Over 12 lakh people died so far. UK crosses 10 lakh mark of confirmed cases, while Austria, Portugal, UK announce new lockdown restrictions. And at the top of this broadcast, we have some breaking news coming in from Jammu and Kashmir. Big win for security forces in Srinagar. Reports coming in, Hizbul Mujahideen Chief Commander has been killed in an encounter. Kashmir IG Vijay Kumar has said that it's a great achievement of our forces. Let's listen.
पुलिस को इतला मिली थी कल रात में इस घर में साउथ कश्मीर से एचएम का कमांडर डॉक्टर जिसको सिफुला बोलते हैं आया हुआ है। उसके बाद पुलिस सीआरपी आके कॉर्डन करते ही फायरिंग शुरू हो गया। बाद में आर्मी भी ज्वाइन कर ली। इनकाउंटर में एक टेररिस्ट मारा गया। हमारे सोर्स के हिसाब से ये लगभग 95% डॉक्टर सिफुला ही है। अभी बॉडी हम लोग बाहर निकाले हैं, उनके फैमिली को मिला के दिखा देंगे और आइडेंटिफाई हो जाएगा और बता देंगे आप लोग। आप ये मानिए कि एचएम का चीफ कमांडर है डॉक्टर रियाज नाकी के बाद, जो मरने के बाद जो रियाज नाकू जो मारा गया था मई में, उसके बाद ये पोस्ट लिया था एचएम चीफ का। ये पुलिस सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस की बहुत बड़ी कामयाबी की बात है।
And now let's shift our focus with news coming in from poll-bound Bihar, where campaigning is going to end today for the second phase of assembly polls. Polling for the second phase will be held on 3rd of November on 94 constituencies across 17 districts. Campaigning is on in full swing with rallies of several leaders in various parts of the state of Bihar. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed election rally at Samastipur, where he said that the NDA government believes in Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. He added that daughters of the state who are getting Mudra loan today are banking upon NDA government for a better future.
के बेटे बेटियां जिन्हें आज मुद्रा लोन मिल रहा है, बैंकों ने जिनके लिए दरवाजे खोल दिए हैं, जिन्हें आईआईटी, आईआईएम, एम्स मिल रहा है, वो आज अपने उज्जवल भविष्य के लिए एनडीए पर भरोसा कर रहे हैं।
Chief Minister Nitish Kumar was also present at the Samastipur rally earlier today, where he said that it was under the NDA rule that the Samastipur Medical College was approved. He added that work of road widening and converting many in 4 lanes has been approved, which will directly benefit people of Samastipur.
हर इलाके का विकास और समाज के हर तबके का उत्थान, ये काम हम लोग आगे जारी रखेंगे अगर आप सब लोगों का होगा। केंद्र सरकार के सहयोग से ही मेडिकल कॉलेज की स्थापना यहां शुरू हो गई और आप जानते हैं एक-एक काम जो हो रहा है और कई सड़कें बनने जा रही है और जो कुछ भी है, जो हम लोगों ने कहा था मुजफ्फरपुर, बरौनी, ये सब सड़क के चौड़ीकरण का जो समस्तीपुर होकर समस्तीपुर जिले से जाता है, 4 लेन के चौड़ीकरण की भी स्वीकृति मिल गई है। यानी हर चीज में स्वीकृति, हर चीज के लिए विकास।
Earlier, Prime Minister addressed public rally at Chhapra, where he said that Bihar currently has a double-engine government which is committed towards development of the state. He added that leaders of the opposition are busy saving their positions. Prime Minister also said whosoever eyes poor's money can never work for their welfare. He added that the NDA government has always worked for the betterment of poor and downtrodden.
जिसकी नजर हमेशा गरीब के पैसों पर हो, उसे कभी गरीब का दुख, उनकी तकलीफ दिखाई नहीं देगी। वहीं भाजपा के नेतृत्व में एनडीए का हमारा गठबंधन देश के गरीब के जीवन से, बिहार के गरीब के जीवन से मुश्किलें कम कर रहा है।
Addressing a rally in Motihari, Prime Minister slammed the opposition and said that people who believe in breakup of this country are siding with the Jungle Raj supporters and that they want to again bring Jungle Raj in Bihar.
अब तो इस चुनाव में जंगल राज वालों के साथ नक्सलवाद के समर्थक, देश के टुकड़े टुकड़े करने की चाहत रखने वालों के समर्थक, वे भी बढ़ चढ़ करके बारात में जुड़ गए हैं। अब अगर इनको जरा भी मौका मिल गया तो बिहार वापस उस हिंसा, अराजकता, अपहरण के उस खतरनाक दौर में फिर से पहुंच जाएगा। और इसलिए बिहार को सतर्क रहना है, बिहार को सावधान रहना है।
Addressing a rally in Bagha, Prime Minister Modi launched a scathing attack on the opposition parties for doing negative politics and spreading negativity in the society.
राजनीतिक स्वार्थ के लिए एनडीए के विरोध में खड़े लोगों के पास ना तो तथ्य है और ना ही उनके पास तर्क है। राष्ट्रहित और जनहित के लिए उठाए गए हर कदम का विरोध करना, हताशा, निराशा का वातावरण पैदा करना, नकारात्मकता, 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 यही इनकी रणनीति है। भय और भ्रम का माहौल समाज में फैलाने का ही काम इनके पास बच गया है।
In other news, RJD leader Tejasvi Yadav has promised to increase the retirement age from 50 to 70 if he comes to power. Hitting out at Nitish Kumar, Tejasvi said that this time people will retire him. Tejasvi addressed 15 rallies today across 5 districts.
कुमार जी ने एक फरमान जारी किया है, एक नोटिफिकेशन बीजेपी और नीतीश कुमार जी की सरकार ने जारी किया है, जो कि सरकारी कर्मचारियों को 50 साल में रिटायरमेंट की बात कही है। खुद 70 से प्लस हो गए, लेकिन इस बार जनता उनको रिटायर करने जा रही है और हमारी सरकार बनेगी तो इस सेवा जो रिटायरमेंट का जो 50 साल की अवधि है उसको ख़त्म करके बढ़ाने का काम करें।
Lok Janshakti Party Chief Chirag Paswan is also leaving no stone unturned to take on his political adversaries in poll-bound Bihar, training his arrows specially at Chief Minister Nitish Kumar. Chirag Paswan today said that this time the people are voting for change and development. And from Bihar, shifting focus to Madhya Pradesh, it is the last day of campaigning for the assembly by-elections to be held in 28 seats in the state. BJP and Congress have put their full strength in last phase of campaigning. Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan held a roadshow in Devas today. The Election Commission has also increased an additional hour of campaigning on the last day today in view of the corona epidemic. Madhya Pradesh will vote on November 3rd, while the results will be declared on 10th of November. Union Minister Narendra Singh Tomar and film actor Rajpal Yadav have campaigned in favour of BJP candidate Kamlesh Jatav on Amba seat in Morena district. People in large numbers gathered in the roadshow. On the other hand, senior Congress leader Kamal Nath, the former chief minister, as well as Nakul Nath, the other star campaigners of Congress party, also held their roadshows in support of the Congress candidates in Morena district of Madhya Pradesh. Besides that, the other star campaigners of BJP and Congress also campaigned in favour of their respective candidates. Shifting focus to Karnataka, where high-pitched campaigning for 2 seats of assembly by polls came to an end this evening. Though it is 2 seats, a lot is at stake for political masters in the state. This by-election is a matter of prestige for new Congress President D.K. Shivakumar and a lot at stake for Karnataka Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa for a stable government and consolidating his position in the party in remaining years. The campaign is battle between the Congress and the BJP, with JDS also in the fray, hoping to emerge as a dark horse. Let's get you some news on corona front. India has achieved a significant success in its fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. The case fatality rate has fallen below 1.5%. It is now at 1.49%. The deaths per million population is at low as 88 deaths per million. Nearly 60,000 recoveries have been recorded, taking the cumulative total of recovered patients to over 74.3 lakh. With this, the recovery rate rises to 91.34%. The central government strategy of test, trace, track and treat has focused on effective containment strategy, aggressive testing and standardized clinical management protocols based on comprehensive standard of care approach, which includes use of anticoagulants and non-invasive oxygen. Let us now take a look at the updates on the COVID-19 from across the country now. Okay, now look at these numbers. 58,684 recoveries recorded till yesterday, taking cumulative total of recovered patients to 74,91,513. With this, the recovery rate currently stands at 91.54%. India's three-cornered or three-pronged strategy of testing, tracing and treating is proving to be great success. The fatality rate has dropped to 1.49% with 1,22,111 deaths recorded so far. The number of active COVID cases in India stand at 5,70,458, which is 6.97% of the total cases reported so far. And according to the Indian Council of Medical Research, the total, that is 10 crore 98 lakh 87,303 samples have been tested so far for COVID-19. Out of these, 10 lakh 91,239 samples were tested yesterday. And the distribution of the COVID-19 vaccines will take place over a year, and it will start with the healthcare workers, followed by other groups to be added sequentially. Now let's take a look at how this policy is going to be rolled out or implemented on ground. The central government has asked states and union territories in a letter to put in place 3-tier system to oversee the rollout of the vaccine and also address any hiccups, including rumors. Among other things, the committee will coordinate work on updating the database of health workers, the COVID-19 vaccination beneficiary management system that the government seeks to create to ensure smooth administration of the vaccine. It is anticipated that initially the supply of vaccine will be limited in a view of huge demand, hence prioritization of the socio-demographics groups will be done for vaccination, and subsequently other groups will be included for vaccination. Union Home Secretary Ajay Kumar Bhalla will be tomorrow reviewing the coronavirus situation in Delhi, which has seen a sudden spike in cases. Top officials of the Union Health Ministry and the Delhi government will attend the meeting. The review meeting is a part of the regular review of all union territories on a rotational basis. Also, leading from the front, the Home Minister ensured increased testing facilities and more hospital beds for patients by setting up temporary hospitals and COVID care centers. Shifting focus to Tamil Nadu, where the government has announced that schools, colleges, research institutions and other educational institutions will open on November 16. Chief Minister E.K. Palaniswamy made the announcement after meetings with district collectors and health experts yesterday. However, only students in standards 9, 10th, 11th and 12th will be allowed to attend school for now. Movie theatres have also been allowed to reopen on November 10th. The Chief Minister said that in view of the representations received from the theatre owners, all theatres including multiplexes and theatres at shopping malls having more than one screen would be allowed to operate with 50% capacity from November 10th. Amusement parks, auditoriums, assembly halls, zoos and museums are also allowed to operate from 10th of November. The gross GST revenue collected in the month of October 2020 is 1,05,155 crore. Out of this, CGST is 19,193 crore, SGST stands at 25,411 crore, IGST at 54,540 crore and the cess is 8,011. The total number of GST R3B returns filed by the month of October up to 31st October 2020 is 80 lakh. The revenues for the month are 10% higher than the GST revenues in the same month last year. During the month of October, revenues from import of goods was 9% higher than the revenues from domestic transaction, including import of services are 11% higher than the revenues from these sources during the same month last year. Further, the growth in GST revenues as compared to that in months of July, August, September 2020 clearly shows the trajectory of recovery of the economy and correspondingly of the revenues as well. Union Minister of State for Education Sanjay Dhotre has launched a self-help website developed by IIT Bombay and its alumni to enhance the emotional well-being of its students. The website is supported by the alumni of class of 1992.
In order to ease pressure from students' mind, IIT Bombay launched a self-help website to enhance the emotional well-being of its students. Minister of State for Education Sanjay Dhotre launched a self-help website Bandhu for students of IIT Bombay. The website is supported by the alumni of class of 1992. Eminent filmmaker Nitesh Tiwari, who is also an IIT Bombay alumni, was the guest of honor. Speaking on this occasion, the minister said that Bandhu initiative will help our students to travel on their respective chosen paths in a stress-free manner, ensuring the emotional well-being. He further said that National Education Policy 2020 says that in every educational institution there shall be counseling systems for handling stress and emotional adjustments. The website Bandhu has been designed in conjunction with the counselors at IIT Bombay along with external experts with support from Professor T. Kundu and Professor Suhas Joshi. It addresses challenges ranging from adjustment to college life, academic stress and mental health. Bandhu has curated reads, motivational alumni journeys, expert podcasts and tools for self-exploration. While addressing the launch, Nitesh Tiwari said that there is a lot of pressure on students' mind, but everyone has to find a way to cope up with it. He said, instead of thinking about results, students should give their best because there are brilliant minds in IIT classroom. Project Bandhu was initiated by alumni of the class of 1992 as a part of their Silver Jubilee reunion in 2017. They pledged to support IIT Bombay and help students enhance their emotional well-being. The self-help website is one of the first steps in this direction. Shishir Sheller's report, DD News, Mumbai.
Well, tourism is a major component of income when we talk about the Kerala state government, and the sector is also employer of a larger number of people directly or indirectly. But the COVID-19 pandemic has hit the sector hard and the loss is estimated to be around 25,000 crore rupees. As part of the unlock process, the Kerala government has decided to open the tourism centres in the state in 2 phases. Accordingly, in the first phase, the hill stations, adventure spots Adventure resorts and backwater tourism centers, including houseboats, were reopened on October 12th, strictly adhering to the COVID-19 protocols. In the second phase, the beach tourism destinations reopened from today, the Kerala Day, known as Birthday of Kerala. An NGO in Mohali is making idols and earthen lamps out of cow dung ahead of Diwali. Diwali is just a week away, so this NGO came with different ideas to celebrate Diwali in eco-friendly manner. They are using cow dung for making idols of different deities, utilize the cow dung and used to make sticks and flower pots. These idols can be used as organic fertilizers in flower pots and are fully eco-friendly. Rather than selling these idols in market, NGO is ready to barter these idols with the care, service and to feed them. Let us now take an update on the COVID-19 pandemic from across the world. As of now, over 4 crore 63 lakh coronavirus cases have been reported worldwide, with over 12 lakh deaths reported. Over 3 crore 34 lakh people have recovered from the virus. The United States continues to top the list among worst hit by the pandemic so far, with the highest number of infections. The US has over 94 lakh 2,000 cases of coronavirus, with the death toll surging past 2 lakh 36,000. Staying with world news, the UK has passed another grim milestone of 1 million COVID-19 cases, including another national lockdown in the country spanning across a month till December 2nd. Now, as per the new restrictions, people will only be allowed to go out for education, work, exercise, shopping for essentials and medicines, or also caring for the vulnerables, while restaurants will remain closed. With over 46,550 deaths so far from the virus, UK has the highest COVID-19 fatality in Europe. The country has registered more than 21,910 cases in single day, adding into the total tally of infections to over 1,11,660. And after UK, talking about Austria. In Austria, the government has announced a night-time curfew following an upward trend in COVID-19 cases in the country. The cafes and restaurants will also remain closed. However, the measures fall short of a general lockdown, with shops, industry, kindergarten as well as primary schools remaining open. Secondary schools and universities will switch to distance learning, and with more than 5,300 new cases registered in single day, the country's total tally of infection has crossed 1,04,900, forcing the government to take the decision. And after Austria, let's talk about Portugal, where the government has also announced a new lockdown restrictions in view of an upward trend in COVID-19 cases. The restrictions will come into force from November 4th in most parts of the country. The government has urged people to avoid any unnecessary outing except for work, school or shopping. Companies, meanwhile, have been ordered to switch to remote mode, and the country has over 141,270 cases of infections, with more than 250 fatalities. Prime Minister Antonio Costa says the curb measures would cover around 121 municipalities, including the key regions of Lisbon and Porto. The affected areas are home to about 70% of the Portugal's population of roughly 10 million. Staying with international news, now moving on to the update on US presidential polls. And with the presidential polls just around the corner, over 90 million Americans have cast ballots in the US presidential elections, setting the stage for the highest participation rate in over a century. The two states, Hawaii and Texas, have already surpassed their entire 2016 totals. Huge numbers of people have voted by mail or at early in-person polling sites, and amid the concerns about the exposure to the coronavirus at busy election day voting places. Their record-breaking pace, about 65% of the total turnout in 2016, reflects intense interest in the vote, in which incumbent Donald Trump, a Republican, is up against Democratic nominee Joe Biden, a former vice president. Meanwhile, both Trump and Biden are making last-ditch efforts to woo voters. Trump held a rally in Butler in Pennsylvania, while Biden campaigned in Flint in Michigan, in a final push across the nation to try to sway the new remaining undecided voters. Biden, joined by former President Barack Obama, slammed Trump for his handling of COVID-19 pandemic. He has accused Trump of giving him in the fight against COVID-19, which has claimed so far over 2.36 lakh Americans. Biden said the U.S. was done with the chaos of the Trump administration. And while the Trump traveled across Pennsylvania on Saturday, holding several large-scale rallies in defiance of the public health guidance, addressing his supporters, Trump said coronavirus will soon be eradicated from America. He warned that Biden will delay the vaccine and impose a crushing lockdown on all Americans. In southern Iraqi city of Basra, fresh clashes erupted between security forces and protesters. Security forces removed concrete walls and dismantled tents of protesters, who then gathered to prevent it, resulting into scuffle between the two. Security forces had to fire tear gas and live ammunition to disperse the protesters. Authorities had earlier announced clearing of road leading to local government offices, closed since mass anti-government protests erupted about 1 year ago. And finally, let's talk sports. Defending champions Liverpool beat West Ham United 2-1. Diego Jota came off the bench and scored in the 85th minute to earn Liverpool a hard-fought win over West Ham, extending the team's unbeaten record in league play at Anfield to 63 games, tied for the longest streak in the club's history. And that is a goal in 3 straight games for Jota, an off-season signing who is giving an extra edge to the Liverpool's attack. It is needed given the team's troubles in defence. The second goal came for West Ham from Pablo Fornals, who drove a finish into the bottom corner in the 10th minute. Meanwhile, Mohamed Salah equalised for Liverpool from the penalty spot just before half-time after he was tripped by Arthur Masuaku. Defending champions lead the league by 3 points from Everton. Well, that's it in this news broadcast. Coming up next is Ritu with news in Hindi. Stay tuned. Namaskar.